make renewable energy more affordable is just all around good for the planet, good for the homeowner.
Michigan Saves contractors to us is valuable because they are driving the majority of our business. But many times the contractor is actually presenting at either the kitchen table or the business owner's office, where they are bringing up Michigan Saves, and in that case, the customer can decide to use Michigan Saves to get their project to move forward if they don't have the capital available.
I enjoy working with Michigan Saves as a contractor because it helps help more people. Their financing allows us to provide services to clients that couldn't afford it or add additional services on projects larger and allow customers to kind of spread out the.
So when we're looking at a project, because we look at so many projects, speed is definitely a big plus, because we go into a survey building on a Monday, do a presentation on a Friday, and submit financing docs on Friday, by the end of that afternoon, we have approval. We can start a project within a week. Going into starting a project in 2 to 3 weeks, it's just
Why I recruit my people to use Michigan Saves is because it's been a great program to get involved with. We get great support. It's easy to work with, easy approval for the homeowner, and the interest rates are very accommodated. 4.75%, depending on what your credit rating is, really helps our dealers, gives them another tool to close that.
We want to be fast, easy, and a low cost for the contractors, while also providing the customer a fair market rate or below market rate for their projects.
Michigan Saves is a fun group of professionals. We get the job done and have a good time doing it.
So like I said, that organization is free to join. If you're part of it, I would definitely join. You can go to their website. They have periodic trainings where they kind of just teach you how their tools work. And then you can be listed on their website for anyone to access. And people will look Detroit, and they'll find your contractors. And let me tell you that the Detroit list of contractors is much smaller than the list of contractors in the suburban area. So you all who have Detroit addresses, it'd be a huge plus for anybody in Detroit to have more contractors on that list. Great Lakes Renewable Energy Association. Now, you do have to pay to be a part of this. This is really for small solar installers. So if you do get trained up and start to get into the industry, this is a great group to rub elbows with other solar installers. They also do a lot of work on promoting better policies. DTE is constantly pushing back on people being allowed to put solar on the rooftops. This is the #1 organization that's pushing back at DTE, making sure that everyone can get access to solar, right? So it's a really important organization. And if you're really interested in solar, it'd be a good organization to join. It's not too expensive. And then similarly, another organization is the Michigan Energy Innovation Business Council. This organization costs more to join. It generally is more of the larger industry folks, the folks who make solar panels or do the large solar arrays out in the farm fields, the multi-million-dollar firms. And I'll skip over this video. We'll play it, but this is a little bit higher end. Small businesses generally are not a part of it, but they're a really important advocate for clean energy and making sure it's affordable, it's reliable, and that everyone has access to it. And Elevate, we're a part of this organization, and so I just wanted to share that because it's a really important organization in the industry, well respected, and if you start growing your firm, it'd be a good firm to belong to because they have a really powerful voice in the industry. And you can listen. They use the same music as Michigan Saves. It's pretty funny.
To be the authentic, advanced energy business voice in Michigan.
Our mission is to grow Michigan's advanced energy economy by fostering opportunities for innovation and business growth and offering a united voice to create a business-friendly environment for the advanced energy industry in Michigan.
Michigan EIBC has been an incredible resource for my company, Ranger Power. As a company based out of state and in Chicago, EIBC has provided an introduction and a front row seat to all of the major issues affecting the renewable energy sector in Michigan.
Our companies span the advanced energy industry, including wind and solar, energy efficiency, electric vehicles, combined heat and power, energy storage, and more.
Sloan Group is a member to build and sustain relationships in the advanced energy economy.
Membership in the Michigan EIBC offers your company a seat at the table. EIBC events continue to provide the industry with unique networking and business development opportunities and access to thought leaders and policymakers. Michigan EIBC represents its businesses through a variety of different means at the Public Service Commission, the legislature, and with the state administration.
We have a unique opportunity to harness our innovative workforce to protect the environment and make Michigan a nationwide leader in clean energy.
All right, and our last one, the Michigan Energy Efficiency Contractors Association. It's another great organization to be a part of. MICA, as they're known. The nice part about MICA is if you do sign up as a small contractor, they have trainings. You have access to, getting your voice heard with legislators and affecting policy. But then you also get a membership to the Small Business Association of Michigan, and through SBAM and through the Small Business Association of Michigan, you get discounted insurance, you get discounted IT services. So this one, actually you should look into, because not only do you get to be in an organization with your peers, but there are also additional services that could be beneficial to your firm and give you access to different things like better bond rates and stuff like that. So it's definitely worth something, because basically you're getting a 2-for-1. You're getting to be part of the Small Business Association of Michigan and the Michigan Energy Efficiency Contractors Association. So it's a nice group. And the web links are all on the PowerPoints here. Andrew's welcome to share. I'm hopeful that Andrew can share this with everyone. And if anyone wants this information, how to access these organizations, or wants contacts, I know the folks who are running all these organizations. I can personally send you or make an introduction for any one of your firms to these organizations if you'd like to speak to them. So I'd be glad to do that. All right. So, we just heard the Governor Whitmer talk about the importance of the clean energy industry and climate. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about the My Healthy Climate Plan, right? The Michigan Healthy Climate Plan that the governor has worked out. And these are some of just the high level ones, right? The governor has a commitment to environmental justice principles and transition that is supporting displaced workers. That's mostly about the coal burning power plants that are being closed down on the displaced workers. Clean energy production, that's what we're here to talk about. Electric vehicles, decarbonizing homes. I talked a little bit about that. That's where your role is going to play, right? There's going to be all these incentives, and from the sounds of it, all your firms, you guys are working towards rehabbing homes, flipping homes, putting new roofs on homes. All of that is part of the decarbonization process, right? More insulation on the roof, put solar panels on the roof, put insulation in the walls, put some nice energy efficient equipment in there. We're all working together on this. And then, what do these goals look like? So, the mayor's got a goal, or the governor's got a goal of 2 million electric vehicles. The one that really applies to our industry is the repair and decarbonizing homes. They're looking at reducing the carbon footprint of homes and businesses in Michigan by 17% by 2030. It's a nice number. And even, the experts that I work with don't exactly know what that means. But it just means that we need to get to every home we possibly can. I think someone tried to calculate it. It was like, we need to rehab 1.5 million homes to get to that 17% marker. Right. So that's a lot of homes we got to work on. It's more homes than Detroit has. I know that much. And then what I like in here is and what really sells with energy efficiency and solar is reducing costs for families in their homes, right? That's a goal that the My Healthy Climate Plan has, and that's a reality that we can make. That is one of the commitments that Elevate has as an organization. When we help reduce the energy and reduce carbon in buildings, our goal is not only to make the buildings healthy and more efficient, but it's also to help families save on their money. All right. And then we're also committed to helping, contractors grow their businesses and keeping the wealth in communities. And what does this look like, right? The Inflation Reduction Act, this is the federal money that was recently passed by the federal government. And some calculations, on how this will affect Americans. At the minimum, when we go on average, when we implement this project, Americans are going to save $50 annually in their electric bills. It's going to create hundreds of thousands of high quality jobs. It's going to drive $50 billion worth of economic activity, increase, the wind and solar industry by nearly 50%, reduce, most importantly, those carbon emissions. So hopefully we can have less fires and less storm events, so our basements don't flood and our air is clean. And right there, like I said, with the air being clean, it's also going to help reduce, health from air pollution right there. $10 billion in reductions. And I think we're going in the opposite direction right now with the air quality we've had this summer. I'm sure that those health costs are going up, not down right now. We actually had a training at the Lennox Center. I'm going to talk about that site with our other contractor association, and one of our contractors actually threw up because it was a poor air quality day. We had to move everything inside. All right. So we talked earlier about that apartment building. And here is just an example, just a little teaser on all the different tax credits that are available for solar installations, right? So right now, before the Inflation Reduction Act was passed, so this was like last year, you could only get 22% off. You got 22% basically discount on your solar install. Today, you can get 70%. But really, the 50% is what you should expect to get in Detroit. That's the more easily sweet spot, which is the 30%. Because the 1 megawatt, if you look at this list here, 30% for all projects less than 1 megawatt. All these apartment buildings and single family homes would be less than 1 megawatt, right? I was telling earlier that, a multifamily building might have between 15, maybe up to 100 kilowatts if you have a really long building. Kilowatts, but this is megawatts. So you'll get 30% off. You have the low income residential bonus credit, which most of Detroit will qualify for. So if you work in the suburbs, you're probably not going to get that unless you're specifically doing affordable housing in the suburbs. then you will get it. And then the energy communities bonus, 10%. Now that's possible, but the energy communities bonus is only for communities that have retiring coal burning power plants. River Rouge has a retiring coal burning power plant. And so the city of River Rouge and the census tracts around River Rouge will qualify, which means a few census tracts in Southwest Detroit may also qualify for that extra 10%. And then the domestic content bonus, that is for American-made solar panels. And that's a slippery slope because the foreign-made, the Chinese-made panels, or or wherever they're made, they're made all over Asia. They're made from Taiwan or Singapore. Who knows where they're from. They tend to be about 10% less. So sometimes they're even more cheaper than that. So it's a challenge, right? Whether or not you take the 15% off by using the foreign-made solar panels, or you go with the more expensive American ones and you get 10% off. But if you can hit all of these, 70% off a solar installation is absolutely incredible. It'll be exciting to see how the payback looks on that, because that's going to look really, really, really good. And then they also changed the rules on the solar tax credit, right? So the ITC, when you see up here ITC, that's investment tax credit. The ITC is the tax credit, is the incentive that the federal government provides for solar panels. And so if you do not pay taxes, such as a nonprofit or a city, if you have a client that's a nonprofit, or if you're working on a city project, you can still actually get value for these tax credits in a direct pay program. And so there's an opportunity to get the same tax credit you can for these solar panel installs as someone else. There's also if you are working on a project and the owner of the building is low income, they don't have enough money to get the tax credit bonus, the installer can actually own the solar panels and basically just lease them back to the resident and get the tax credit themselves. And so you would own the solar panels in name only, just to get that 50% money back from the federal government, right? And so that's another tool that can be used. It's usually a tool used with like a commercial building. It's not too often, but sometimes people still do it with single family, and you only have to own it for 5 years, and then you can transfer the ownership, but you'll get the full tax credits back. So there's opportunities for people who don't even have tax appetite to get the money back in their taxes, to still utilize this incentive for solar. So there's all kinds of solutions that folks have. All right, and then there is the EPA Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. And I mentioned earlier that this fund is now open. The Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund has a Solar for All program. This program right now is going to run through the state of Michigan, but the state of Michigan has reached out to our municipal leaders and asked them for program ideas to use for this funding, right? So there is $27 billion coming to, or $7 billion, $27 billion total, $7 billion coming to state and local governments. Divided by 50 states, that's something like, $200 million that the state of Michigan will get, or something like that. And that money then is going to go towards programs, and the mayor of Detroit is proposing to use it to install solar panels piggybacking off their roof replacement program, which sounds like a pretty neat program. I can't argue. And they may not be directly together. So if you didn't get a new roof through the roofing program, but you have a new roof, you may still be able to qualify for this program. It depends how the city of Detroit will run that program, but you'll probably be able to apply for it any which way. So for all you guys working on these projects, this is funding that be beneficial to tap into, right? Because if you can get a free solar panels on the roof, the payback works incredibly well. I can only imagine that. All right. Any questions on those incentives?
Yeah, we got a question in the room, and I also see Ashton has his hand up. Do you want to go ahead, Ashton?
Yeah, Andrew. Tim, could you repeat that again as far as owning the panel and not actually being with the property again, just so I can have a clear understanding?
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, basically, the way it would work is you would, as a, the company would own the panels, right, as like personal property, and lease them to the homeowner. Right. And you could do it. You could have the homeowner pay a little bit, or you could just do it at $0, right? Because the ultimate goal is for your firm to own the panels. And then at the end of the year, you apply for the tax credit to get that 50% back. Right. So if the install costs $20,000, you're going to get $10,000, tax credit back on your taxes, right? That's just a straight up, you're paying $10,000 less on taxes at the end of the year. Playing that same game that all the big corporations play, so they don't pay taxes. You can start playing that yourself. As long as you have the tax appetite of, as long as you're paying that many taxes on your federal income taxes, right, as an organization. So it depends on how many projects you're working on. But it's as simple as that, right? It's just, an agreement in which you're leasing the equipment to a client. Sometimes people will build a kind of maintenance and operations fee into it. So sometimes you'll be like, okay, you'll lease it out and have the homeowner pay you, but part of that payment is for you to go and kind of maintain the equipment. That's what some people do. So that's a nice way to do it, so that the homeowner doesn't have to worry about, any operational issues. Your firm will come in and make sure the system is operating.
Got it. What about, you mentioned earlier also that it was stackable credit. So say for instance, if I'm an investor and I'm already getting like Opportunity Zone tax credit, is that stackable along with that?
Absolutely. So is low-income housing tax credit. So I work very closely with affordable housing owners, and they will stack their low-income housing tax credits, the LIHTC, with the ITC solar tax credit. They actually syndicate it. And syndication is they actually sell those tax credits, and someone pays them up front for it. So they don't even wait till the taxes come back. Someone gives, they basically sell them to someone, and they get the money up front for their construction projects.
Is that something someone else could do as well? Like if someone, let's say, doesn't necessarily pay $10,000, $20,000 a year in taxes, could they syndicate their tax credits to another source?
So that's they're still coming out with the tax guidance from the IRS.
Yeah.
And that's what people were actually hoping that would happen, because the federal government said they were going to make these tax credits very flexible. And so far, the tax guidance is not complete yet. They're supposed to have it complete this summer, and so far it you can do that, but you can only forward the tax credits to some kind of certified tax investor. So you can't just forward the tax credits to anyone. So you will be able to pass them along to other people, but it will be a limited set of privileged people, if you get what I'm saying.
Right. Absolutely. That makes sense. All right.
So yes, but you can't just give them to your neighbors, right? You can't just give them to your uncle who's got a tax appetite, and your uncle just gives you 10 grand. You can't, unless your uncle is a certified tax investor, and then your uncle can do that. So they weren't quite super easy just to pass along.
Yeah, I see 2 more hands up in the chat, Zach and then Lucas.
Okay, Tim, I was wondering, when you said how many homes need to be rehabbed, the Greenway, so what would you consider a fully rehabbed, say if I had an affordable housing property, what would you call fully rehabbing that property?
So what would be involved, right? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So you would have, okay, so the first thing, right, we got to talk about is weatherization and insulation, right? You're going to go above and beyond code on the insulation of the walls, right? So that's the first and foremost, right? Then at the minimum, you're going to have a high efficiency natural gas furnace, and LED lights, and a high efficiency natural gas hot water heater, right? That's kind of your traditional energy efficiency, insulation in the attic, and that's, for the most part, that's your basic high efficiency, energy efficient home, right? Then, the future is they want you to get rid of those natural gas furnaces and natural gas hot water heaters, and they want you to put in high efficient electric furnace and a high efficient electric hot water heater, and those are called air source heat pump technology. So you put air source heat pump technology into your home, and you have an air source heat pump HVAC system and an air source heat pump hot water system. The problem with that is it's super efficient. It actually uses less energy to produce the heat and cool your home than the natural gas. The problem is natural gas is so much cheaper than electricity.
Right.
It's still, if you're barely, you're going to have a more efficient home if you use all electric systems, but if you in new construction homes, they can build them so well that if you build a well-insulated home with electric air source heat pumps for HVAC and hot water heaters, it won't cost you any more to operate than a natural gas home, right? But that's only for new homes. When we're talking about retrofitting these older Detroit homes, it is insanely more difficult to get those, odd-shaped, HVAC systems into those homes and make them super efficient, right? So we're still struggling with that. That is.
Have they come up with new technology for the heat pump systems? Because
they have. So they're new technology. So basically, the new technology for the heat pump is the problem with homes that are not ducted. The problem with homes that the homes that are not, if you have air ducts in your home, all you have to do is remove the air conditioner and plop down an air source heat pump where the air conditioner was, and that thing will heat and cool your home. Air source heat pump is an air conditioner, but it runs on reverse and it heats your home.
Right. Do you know what they say the problems used to be with those because of the temperature getting so cold in certain states like Michigan?
Yeah, and those now they have low temperature air source heat pumps that operate to -20 now.
Right. See, that's what I was looking to hear when you said it. I'm like, wait a minute. I went to
It's
HVAC
new.
school.
It's new. It's new technology, and they're working.
Okay.
And they can make it happen. So
So what
now,
about like indoor air filters? You know, like the plug-in kind of electric air filters.
say that again.
You know, the indoor electric air filters you can purchase and change the filters in just to improve the quality of the air inside.
Oh yeah.
So is that supported with the programs?
Yes. You can get them with air filters if that's what you mean. Yes.
No. I was just wondering, like, is that part of the program? Anybody can come install or contract bringing those in, maybe, you know, like some type of.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% sure.
Because those do work, you know. I mean, because of people with allergies and just
sure.
cleaning the air in your home. You know, they got some that you can install inside the furnace. They got other ones you just plug up in the room.
Yep. And indoor air health is important, right? And I am told, I am not like a super HVAC expert, but I'm told the air source heat pumps. Well, I basically know why. Air source heat pumps produce cleaner air, right? One issue where like we all don't really think about it. I still have a natural gas furnace, and I still have natural gas stove and oven in my house. I'm burning natural gas in my home, and that is an air pollutant. Not only is it creating carbon in our atmosphere, but it's also burning something in my home, right? And it's it's an irritant. It irritates asthma, and it creates very small amounts of carbon that you can breathe in your home and get cancer from. Now it's small, right? You know what I mean? It's not like burning coal in your home, but it is burning something in your home, right? Which is unhealthy.
Right.
So when you do the all electric buildings, they tend to, and they've done studies on this, especially new construction homes. The indoor air is much better.
Gotcha.
So, like I said, new construction homes, we've got it figured out. We can make them all electric. That's easy. Retrofitting all the old homes is going to be a challenge, right? And you know what? And I tell this to people all the time. Make what you can electric, right? You don't have to do everything electric. It's okay. If you have to leave the natural gas furnace in there, leave it. If you have to leave the natural gas hot water heater in there, leave it. It's okay. You know what I mean? Just make it as efficient as possible. Put solar panels on the rooftop. It's okay, right? That's a really awesome house too. You know what I mean? You're going to save a lot of energy. You're going to reduce carbon that way.
Gotcha. Thanks.
But there's incentives for this electric stuff, so we're going to have to figure it out because there's a bunch of money coming in. I know I'm over time, but I'm just going to quickly go over.
We have one more question from Zach, I think.
Oh yeah, go for it. I'm more than welcome to stay on here. I just feel bad I'm going over my time.
Yeah, I just had a quick question about some of the incentives you were talking about with DTE and how that would work as far as retrofitting some of these old homes that I'm working on to make it cheaper for the client. Are there incentives to installing things like better insulation in some of these homes, some more modern insulation, modern electrical systems that carry power better? Is there incentives to make it cheaper for the client and to incentivize them to maybe want to switch their home over to being more energy efficient?
Absolutely. So DTE will you can call up. They have their energy efficient hotline. And I don't have it handy, but I can provide it for you folks, so you can just look it up. But their energy efficiency program, it's run by Walker Miller, which is a really great Black-owned Detroit business. They have folks who will come to your projects, and you can talk to them about what kind of incentives are available for different types of equipment that you put into these rehabs, right? So you can work with them to go through their catalog of energy efficiency, and the incentives you get off for a market rate home are good, but man, if your client, or if you think they're going to rent to low income, you know what I mean? This stuff, there is deep incentives available for that kind of stuff. Really low cost, sometimes free. There's also, I don't have it on this list, but there's the high efficiency electrification rebate act, HERA, HEERA. That's coming in from the federal government, and that is specifically for electric equipment, for those air source heat pumps, and for a low income household. When you rehab a house, you can get up to $14,000 in incentives, and it will cover upgrading the electrical. It will cover putting in that electric HVAC system, the electric hot water heater. You're capped at $14,000, so it may cost more than $14,000, but that's a lot of money for a rehab for a project. If it's a market rate project, the number is much less sexy. It's like, I don't know what it is right now. I think it's like $2,500, maybe $4,000, somewhere between there, which is not horrible, but I mean, it's certainly something you should look at. But you can get money off there too, and that number is available on a yearly basis. So it's really funny. You can apply for like especially if you're a homeowner, you can apply for like that $2,500 in December one year, and then do a second project in January the following year, and then you get $5,000 off or some way. So because it's you get $2,500 per year.
Okay, thank you.
And that HERA money is not yet available. The state of Michigan has applied for it from the federal government, and then the state of Michigan needs to release the information how they're going to distribute it. So it's going to come through the state, and we have not got that yet, right? A lot of this money is still floating around in state agencies or federal agencies, just waiting to get dispersed. So
all right, thank you.
No problem.
All right, and then we have one more question here. Eunice?
Okay, so I was curious about that one slide where you said nonprofits get direct pay. So for organizations that don't pay taxes, if they want to invest in the solar program, are you suggesting that let's say is 30% discount will just come directly to that nonprofit?
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
Cities too, and the cities will get that too.
Okay.
Right? And if that nonprofit has anything to do with low-income, supporting low-income residents, they should be able to qualify 50%. So.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. No, it should be. And again, we don't know exactly how it's going to work, but we know that's how it's going to work. We know that nonprofits will be able to apply for it. So that's certain. But there's still some of that legal language from the IRS is getting released.
Would the contractor have to apply for that direct pay, or would the nonprofit? Do you know yet?
That's a good question. Whoever owns the system gets the money. Right. So if the nonprofit is going to own the system, then they would apply.
Okay, get it. I got it.
Right.
Thank you.
Right, and then if the contractor wanted to get it, well, obviously they're not a nonprofit, but there's some you can still I've talked about that. Still jump through some hoops and get that money. Yeah, and so there's the Midwest Renewable Energy Association, right? So there's the Great Lakes Renewable Energy Association, and that's based right here in Michigan. The Midwest Renewable Energy Association is actually based in Wisconsin, but they are the leaders in renewable energy training. They have a bunch of low cost online training courses that you can take. Some of them are low cost, some of them cost more. But there's some basic trainings you can take that are relatively low cost to get get your team or yourself up to speed on how solar panels work. And then there's something right here. It's called the PV Associate Core course, which is right here. The NAPSEB. It's North American um, North American Building Certification Energy Practitioners Association, and they have a photovoltaic association associate certificate. And so that is what a lot of the solar installers get to be certified as a solar installer. You don't have to have it, but that's the common certification they have. And so to get certified, you take this class, costs $875. And then you have to study real hard and you take an exam and you can become a certified solar associate. So that's common. And the Midwest Renewable Energy Association every year has scholarships for different types of community members, and they're always because the classes are in Wisconsin, they're always offering them up to um, minority candidates in big cities, and they don't have a lot of uptake because you got to drive all the way to freaking Wisconsin to take the training, but they will pay for the training for free if you take their scholarship. It's just that you got to drive your butt down over to Wisconsin for the training. And they usually every year have free scholarships for that, and they're usually not that hard to get because most people don't want to travel all the way to Wisconsin. So, great organization. There is the link to the website there. Highly recommend. And you can take a lot of these classes online too, so you don't have to go to Wisconsin. But they do have in-person trainings, and they'll offer you a scholarship to get out there. Wisconsin can be nice in summer. I wouldn't go in winter, but Wisconsin is a beautiful place. And so, IRAC, which is the International Renewable Energy Coalition, also has online trainings and recordings that you can do. And then finally, Elevate, my organization, this is the sister program to what you're in. We're running a Detroit Clean Energy Contractor Accelerator, where we're working with 5 businesses here in Detroit, electrical contractors, general contractors, and training them in installing solar, battery storage, and electric vehicles. And we're about to graduate our first class at the end of August, and then we're going to do planning for a second one. And our program, the difference, the little bit of difference between this one and the one that Andrew's running is our program is a little more hands-on, in which we're actually bringing the contractors in the field and showing them how to install solar panels. And offering them a little bit bigger of a stipend to actually get certified as solar installers. So it's been really fun program to run our first year. And I learned system design and construction, permitting, contracting, and networking. Ryder Cooperative Industries is a mentor in it. They're the only Black-owned solar developer in the state of Michigan right now that I know of, at least. They're based in Highland Park. They do really great work. And it's kind of our contractor development pathway. And we trained everyone out at the Lennox Center, which is in Jefferson Chalmers. It's going to be this amazing resilience hubs that Elevate and some others are working on. It's going to have solar panels on the roof, a big battery storage system so it can power it during outages for the city of Detroit. I think that is it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tim. Really appreciate you. Thanks for staying on late. I know we went over time. I think your presentation was really great, though.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, feel free to share it with everyone, and please, any one of you, give me a call, give me an email. I'm always here to help. I'd love to connect you up with folks in the industry, get you connected. And we're going to be seeking cohort members for our second cohort, and we'd be more than glad to have you join that program. That probably won't be until late fall. When we open that recruitment for our second cohort for our program, but we'd love to see some of your faces in that program too. And there's stipends that participate as well.
Absolutely. We'll be happy to send that out to everyone when that's recruiting. And if people have questions, would you prefer that they go through me, or do you want to share your email and stuff? Or was that just on the last slide already?
Yeah, I mean, any which way, it doesn't matter to me.
Awesome. Any last comments from folks before we jump off?
I just want to thank you for your time, Tim. Really appreciate a lot of great information.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all staying. I appreciate that. 20 minutes over.
We appreciate you. All right, have a good night. Let you go now.
Good night.
All right, bye. All right, everyone. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. See you tomorrow.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Andrew. Great guest that you're having for us. Great, appreciate it.
See you tomorrow, Andrew.
Yeah. All right, Andrew. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow at the Hannah House. Hey, I sent you an email too, Andrew.
Yeah. Thanks everyone who sent emails. Keep doing all that research and stuff. And maybe tomorrow we'll plan on staying a little bit later just to answer questions about some of the next steps.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect.
I'll text you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that. All right. Thank you.
But for
Yeah.
we've really been trying to expand out to the suburbs, but it's challenging.